Hello, my name is Mr. Trickster, and today I want to introduce to you a mod that I created called the New Dino Cloner. This mod consists of a couple of different components, but we'll get into all of those in just a bit. I wanted to explain the reason behind my thought process behind actually creating this mod. So, the tech cloning chamber, if you're aware or familiar with it, you realize that it's just huge. And you have to walk the dinosaur onto the platform of the cloning chamber in order to be able to clone it. So therefore, your dinosaur has to be able to touch the ground. And there's a few dinos in Ark, as we know, that just can't do that, so they can't be cloned. So I wanted to eliminate the need to walk a dino onto the platform, for one, because then that means that your cloning chamber usually either had to be outside or you had to have a base large enough to accommodate being able to walk your dinos onto the platform, or you had to live inside a cave or inside somewhere that you could put the cloning chamber down and walk your dinos onto it as well. So it just was cumbersome, and it was huge. It took up so much space, and on top of all of that, if you had a dino that was a high level, it took forever to clone that dino. The cost wasn't too bad. The cost makes sense because it's you're cloning a dino, which for all intents and purposes should be pretty expensive. So if you're cloning a dino, I feel like it should give you a little bit of a challenge to get to the requirements to clone that dino. So it makes sense for me for the cost. I didn't want to lower the cost, so I didn't. So anyway, moving forward, just like the tech cloning chamber, in order to unlock it to begin with, you need to have fought a boss. And you fight a boss, and you unlock the tech cloning chamber once you get whatever boss unlocked. My dino cloning system, you can unlock at different points. So the main one that actually does the functionality of the cloning is called the Dino Printer, and we'll get into why in just a second. But the Dino Printer gets unlocked from any boss fight, period. So it doesn't matter which one you do. If you do the low level, the Gamma Broodmother, you're still going to get the cloning chamber. Or the Dino Printer, sorry. Unlike the cloning chamber, which I believe you have to do the dragon in order to get it. I don't remember exactly which one it is. I did look it up, but I forget now. So it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because we're talking about the Dino Printer. So essentially, you can use this on any tamed dino. And by default, you can only do your tamed dinos, your tribe's tamed dinos. There is a setting to allow enemy tamed dinos to be able to be cloned. That is something that's up to the server owner. It's up to them. And you do that by... You start off, the very first step you have to do is get the scanning darts. Now, the scanning darts will be unlocked at quite a high level here. Let me find them. So level 96. So it's pretty high up there because in order to actually clone something, you need to be able to be a higher level to be able to go through the boss fight and do all that stuff. So it just made sense to me. The crafting requirement is also a shocking tranquilizer dart, as well as element and ingots and electronics. So because it's a shocking tranquilizer dart, which is at level 96 as well, it made sense to me to put the scanning dart at that level as well. So just like all of the darts, you can use it in a long neck, and it is crafted in the fabricator under ammo, and it's right here, right next to the other darts. So you take that and you connect it with your long neck, and you basically make sure you load it up, And here we have good old Rexy, who was a level 150 wild, tamed out to level 224, 225, and then I put a bunch of levels into him to just get him up there, so that we can prove how this works. So it's 294 there. You'll see when I shoot him, the dart does its thing and it scans it. And if you look on my hotbar down here, you see on number 8 there is a cartridge that has appeared in my inventory. If I hover over that, that tells me that I have a Rexy clone level 225. So basically that wipes its stats back down to the stats that it was when it was first tamed. Just like the tech cloning chamber does, so that there's no cloning high levels with, cloning high levels and just keep duping the stats. This also gives you a chance to create different variations of stats of the same dino, so you can keep breeding them back into each other. But the other thing you'll notice about the cartridge is that there is a timer on it. It says 2 days and 23 hours. The timer is also up here when you hover over it. It's at the very top. There's a Dino cartridge, and it has a timer, 2 days, 23 hours. Essentially, that is how long that this cartridge will last in your inventory. Now, there's a way to make it last longer. If you put it into a cartridge locker. This also then is unlocked in, I believe it's, I forget where I put it. Let me find it. I apologize. Oh, geez. Oh, it's electrical. Electric. There it is. So, my brain just froze for a minute. I apologize. So, structures, electric, cartridge locker. So, you craft it. It takes 25 crystal, 115 ingots, 25 electronics, and 50 polymer. It's not a lot, but it the polymer, I guess some people might say that it's expensive. So then we go and we place down our locker. The locker essentially is exactly that. It says cartridge locker on it. And then you can go into the inventory here and you can put your cartridge into the inventory of the locker. Now, the cool thing about the locker is it says it goes up to 30 days. So it's 29 days, 23 hours now from the 2 days and 23 hours that it was before. It's just really loud. I want to be able to talk. So it puts it in there, and as you can see, everything powered down. It's no longer lit up. So then let's go ahead and, if you were to at this point want to do the cloning, you go to your replicator and you go to structures and you go to tech structures, and here it is, the Dino printer. Now the Dino printer is a little more expensive, with 250 black pearls, 100 element, 550 polymer, 350 crystal, and 2,000 metal ingots. However, it is not as expensive as the cloning chamber. It's a little more expensive on the black pearls, but a lot less expensive on the polymer, ingots, and crystal. So it's a little bit of give and take there. So you craft that up, and then you come and you place this bad boy down over here. Let's go ahead and get the snapping going. And let's rotate it around. So here we go. That is the Dino printer, as you can see there on the front of the console. And it fits within, as you can see, it's less than a wall high. You could put a ceiling over top of this and it won't hurt anything. But it does need power. So powered, the screen comes on. You come over here. Your cartridge locker has one cartridge in it, so let's go ahead and grab that. And we're going to toss the cartridge into our printer. And we click on the cartridge and it tells us 14,550 shards, which is 145 element. So it's a little expensive, yes, but again, it's a max level Rex that we're talking about here. So let's go ahead and let me get in some shards. See if that's enough. 16,000 ought to do it. So 14,500, I have 16,000 in here. And as you see, the print button lights up. So if you don't have enough shards in there, with it selected, the print button is not highlighted, so you can't do anything. So we're going to go ahead and, with it selected, we click print. And everything starts up. And the timer shows up on the screen here. It says it's going to take 2 minutes and I think it was like 25 or 30 seconds, something like that. But then you see it all being printed onto a cryopod. So the cool thing here, let me back away because that's pretty loud. The cool thing here is that it's going to put it on a vanilla cryopod, so you don't need to have anything other than an actual cryo fridge placed. Let me find one. I should have had it placed prior to this, but I'll just speed up time. It's not a big deal. Yeah, you can't have a modded one. It has to be the regular one. That's only if you haven't set your server to ignore those new settings that Wildcard put out, which I believe mine did. So I don't think I need the cryo fridge, but I'm gonna put it down anyway. Because as you see here, the cryopod deployment prevented for 5 minutes or something like that. But I don't think it matters on my server. I don't think you have to have all that. So, like I said, you have the cartridge in here. We can actually take out the cartridge because it doesn't matter, and you can put it back into your locker. So it's a lot like the cryopods where people can break into your base and steal them. So you might want to keep these pretty locked away. You could also use them to trade among other tribes. So you scan your dino and you run off and you trade the cartridge to somebody. So let's see, we should be getting pretty close here. About 30 seconds. So it's hammering away at that cryopod. It's shooting the information into it through that lightning bolt, and it's a lot of smoke being produced. And at the end of the time, it will put the cryopod into the inventory. And there it is, it's done. All the smoke and lightning goes away. And now we have a cryopoded Rexy. We come out here. And we toss them out. And there we go. We've got two Rexies, one 294 and one 225. Couple of things to note that I have seen come up. You cannot shoot wild dinos and hope to get a cartridge from them. It won't work. Like I said, unless you have the setting on your server that says that it's you're able to scan enemy dinos, then that won't work either. So here's a raptor. Let's just see. See, I can shoot him and it does nothing. They have to be tamed in order to scan them. Now here's going to be a fun little test. We can should be able to scan. Yep. Scanning a Titanosaur. And now I'm just curious, and you guys get to feed my curiosity with me. Where'd my stuff go? There it is. So let's see what this is going to cost. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty expensive. Titanosaur, level 7. 442,500 shards. So that's 4,425 element. So if you so choose on your server to do to clone a Titanosaur, it does clone a Titanosaur. Whereas the old tech cloning chamber would not do that. It's just too big. You couldn't walk the Titanosaur onto it. Same thing, you could shoot a Phoenix if you have like a Phoenix mod. Oh, that's another thing. I want to show you that it will do. Here we go. It will do modded dinos too. So on my server here, I have the Draconis Chronicles, or Draconic Chronicles. Sorry. This thing won't stand still. Come here, buddy. Yep, it's mine now. So let's go. Looks like he's landing. Okay. So I have a Sand Dragon, which is clearly a modded dino. Has nothing to do with any vanilla Ark. But as you can see, he's getting scanned, no problem. I can go back over here. Excuse me, Mr. Titanosaur. And I go to my Dino printer. And I can put the cartridge into the machine. And it's going to cost me 7,860 shards. So if I wanted to do this, I could clone a modded dino. So those are just a few of the little things that show up, whether or not you can tame the bigger dinos that you couldn't tame before, or clone the bigger dinos that you couldn't clone before, which, yes, the answer is yes. Can you do wild dinos? No, they have to be tamed. Can you do bosses? No, because they have to be tamed. And can you do modded dinos? Yes, you can. So there it is. If you have any further questions or concerns, or if you find a bug with this system, please by all means report the bug. I don't know if things are wrong on your server when you're encountering it unless you tell me. I have no way of knowing that. So those bug reports can be done on my Discord server. Anybody can join. The link will be in the description of this video. Please join the Discord server. Be part of the community. I post everything about all of my mods that I'm working on while I'm working on them, so you get to be a part of the discussion, part of the process, and you can just hang out and check out all the different mods that I have available. With that being said, that's it. That is the new Dino Cloner mod with the Dino printer, the cartridge locker, and the scanning darts that you use in the long neck rifle. And thank you very much for watching the video. I've been Mr. Trickster. You've been awesome. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.